Hey, great Wednesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville. Well, it's great for me. And again, thank you to everyone out there that has sent messages, calls, um, WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, regular messages. Thank you. And the calls, I greatly appreciate them. Thank you. And congratulations to Manny, man. I had no doubts that Manny was going to take this. And congratulations to Manny. I love the man. I love his family. And I say that because his cousin is a very good friend of mine. And I love her so much. And from the start, she said, Erasmo, you have to be out there for Manny. I will go to his event, which I never do. I don't go to any people's events. I went to his event and I went to Victor Caballero's event. Those are the only two events I went to. I had wanted to go to the others, but Manny's I wanted to go to because of Lulu. So she says, "You're going to be there for him?" I said, "Of course," because I trust her. And thank you, Yesenia. I trust her, and I'm very proud and very glad that it turned out the way it turned out. I am very proud, very happy, and thank you to everyone out there. People are coming to my office to say congratulations, which is good. It wasn't. It's crazy because a lot of people to ask me. They say like, well, you know, what was your take on it? I said like, I wasn't surprised. It was exactly the way I called it.
Yeah.
Exactly the way I called it here live. I just and people said, "Hey, that's what I said." Well, you knew you were going to win. I said like, well, it's not like I knew that I was going to win. I just didn't see how we could lose this race. And again, I want to thank my assistant Juan. He did an amazing job. He did 10 times more work, maybe 100 times more work than I did. But I appreciate that my base did come out and came out to vote, and I counted on that because as much as individuals were attempting to throw our way, as it just backfired on them. Every single thing that they wanted to do, to try to do, no, in order to hurt and to attack, like Maggie, don't know why, where it came from, but everything that they did to try to hurt and attack, I think only helped me out. And I think a lot of people don't realize that este, about me, that what they throw my way is that usually becomes like a blessing for me in a weird way. It helps me out. And like I told Maggie, all you're doing is making me more popular because they continue to keep us at the forefront uh, of their thoughts. Like they say that you live in their brain, of their thoughts and their concerns. But I mean, I don't know why it was so surprising for them in regards to me as the getting elected. I did it before. I did it before. It wasn't really a shock to me. I was very ecstatic. I was very happy. I was uh, with Eduardo, and we were having dinner in Matamoros, and went to play a couple of things out there, and found out, and just like, oh, whoop, we won. And I was getting calls from people saying like, "Hey, come on over to this party. Come over to the party." I go like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. It's just not my thing." But again, one of the things, and I've been getting messages from all departments. I mean, I got messages from, thank you, Lisandro. Thank you, Frances. I was getting messages from transportation department, from maintenance department, from food and services. And they said, we voted for you. You know that we were supporting you. We're like, well, thank you. Because once you win a race, everyone is out there supporting you. But again, I know I've been at this for a good amount of time, that I know where my base is at, and I just didn't see myself losing this race, and all thanks to you all who came out to vote, and I will always be in your debt. And again, my like I was asked, of course, Juan was amazing, and Marisa as well. People ask Erasmo. They asked me actually today, Commissioner. They said,
Good morning.
morning. They asked me today. They said, Erasmo, I said, which side are you going to be on? I said, very simple answer, Commissioner. When they ask you what side will you be on, what is the right answer?
The
The
people's
people
side.
side. That's exactly what I said. I said I'm going to be on the side of staff, student, and community.
Very
Period.
good.
I'm not going to do the one side, this side or that side. Of course, you have to work with everyone on the board, which is something we all learned. We're going to have to learn work with everyone on there. But at the end of the day, if you're not out there, Marisa's here. If
Hey,
you're
Prima.
Hi.
if you're not out there for the individuals that voted you for a specific purpose, then why even run?
Exactly.
Why even run? But I appreciate Commissioner de Los Santos did give me a call last night or text message. Can't remember.
Text.
Text message. And he said, vente, vente. I said, like, ando un poquito ocupado.
What was last night, a double win or a single win?
No, I didn't win at the casino. I didn't do that great, but it didn't matter. I think I lost like $250. 5,000 pesos, something like that. But I mean, it was perfect because it was a place, and everyone there at the casino were like going, "Ganó, señor Erasmo," digo, "Ganó," and everyone was excited and everyone was jumping up and everything. So it was kind of fun in that respect. But I don't do the victory parties and stuff like that. It's just they're not my thing. But again, to everyone that went out and voted, everyone in the community, thank you. It showed the people came out to vote. I mean, have
Absolutely.
you ever seen? I mean, and again, there was a lot of things, Commissioner, that sort of kind of lined up
Hmm.
for me. And again, it's just providence. God's hand in everything. Let me say is that I think the lawsuit against PUB it helped out.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a
Yep.
lot of people going like, "Damn, this guy's serious shit." And so I appreciate that. I think the Victor Caballero attacking me at the forum that helped, and
Hmm.
a lot of people were going, they irked aside, and I think it hurt him. But everything was just aligning perfectly. And again, I'm very very grateful, very humbled, and it's just trippy. Uh, I mean, you've had this experience winning a race.
Yes.
Where it's a great, great feeling. It really is
Absolutely.
humbling feeling.
Yes.
So, how have you been, Commissioner? How's the city of
I'm
Brown?
good. Very good. The city, of course, is on a great trajectory right now. Great things are happening in Brownsville.
It was funny, Commissioner, but I don't know. Well, I'm sure you've experienced this, but I was getting calls from everyone and their mother.
Of
Everyone,
course.
everyone, like we're going like, we just can't believe it. Can't believe it. I go like, I, and I don't know if I share this with you, Commissioner, but I literally had no doubts that we were going to win this race.
Now, and several people asked me about it last night, and I told them it's really simple. Your base is solid.
Yeah.
They're not going to go anywhere no matter what. And then you've got three others diluting the vote that would be against you. And then you combine that, like you say, with the lawsuit, with the recent publicity stuff, and that's easily right there what puts you over.
Yeah, I think we were very, very blessed, Commissioner. Very, very blessed that everything worked out. Again, Providence. I heard that Senator Mantequilla won. Is that correct?
No.
She lost?
From what for the last time I checked the Secretary of State side, it looked like it's headed to a runoff.
Is it really?
There was a third party candidate in there who had a little over 2% of the vote. And I want to say she was at 47, higher 47, and he was at 48.
Damn.
Let me check that again.
Good morning,
Texas.
Kimberly. Let me get to the comments while you're shaking that. Congrats. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Congratulations. Are you going to work with Elizondo, Ortiz, and Peña as you guys will be the majority now? Let's make BISD great again. Let me tell you, Casimiro, I will work with anyone on that board: Daniela, Denise, Jessica, Carlos, Frank, Minerva, anyone that is like-minded in the sense of we're working for the community, not working for ourselves, not working for the vendors, not working for consultants. I'm going to be on the side of those individuals that are going to be out there because of the students. And I got to ask him, what is, what is, what are you going to do now that you got elected? I go like, I'm going to Disney World. No, I hate Disney World, but no, it's
Yeah, I've got the state senator results in front of me right now. This is from the Texas Secretary of State website.
Uh-huh.
And it shows Adam Hinojosa at 49.39%, Morgan Lamantilla at 48.28%,
Yeah.
and Robin Lee Vargas of the Green Party had 2.33. So that looks like it would go to a runoff.
Damn. One of the good things about BISD, no runoff.
Yep.
No runoff. We're in, and it, I like Senator La Mantequilla. She's always been very kind, very friendly. I hope she does well.
So do I. I know they've still got provisional ballots and overseas and mail-ins that I think have until Friday, maybe Monday to come in. Because I know even with BISD, I don't think BISD will canvass the election until about the 13th or 14th.
On the 14th, we get sworn in on the 14th.
Very good.
So I expect you to be there, Commissioner.
Without a doubt.
Because I don't have anybody else on my side. I will say, let me tell you.
You got all those voters on your side. We know that for sure.
Let me tell you, Commissioner, it was very, very interesting because everything that they tried to use to attack us, it kind of sort of backfired. And I'll mention this because I got a lot of messages from a lot of individuals in the LGBTQIA community.
Mm-hmm.
Several. And they said, a couple of them said, we don't like you, but we hate the fact that these individuals are trying to go that route against you, by calling you out because of the video that is everywhere with Eduardo like kissing me on the cheek. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And I said, get other people to go out there and vote. So to everyone out there and again, it doesn't work, it's using all this mudslinging and stuff and trying to out people and trying to make individuals answer questions like are you a man? I'm a man, damn it. Remember that one, Commissioner?
Oh yes, one of my favorites.
It doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work, and it just speaks horribly about an individual that would choose to go. And one of the things, and I've said this publicly, and I've said it privately to a lot of folks out there. There's certain lines that should never be crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Certain lines that should never. You should never go against relationships. You should never go against children, against spouses. Leave that out. It has no business in politics. It's not what I'm not running for BISD or for mayor of the city of Brownsville because of my family ties or anything else. I'm running to serve the community, and that should be all that matters. Who one sleeps with, who one dates, how they raise their children. That should really, really be off limits. And unfortunately, a lot of folks out there just don't see it that way.
Right.
Congrats. Been watching you since 2018, and you're back. You earned our trust. Now, please do something great with it. Make us happy to vote for you. We expect transparency, 100%, bro. I'll be out here every day. And again, will do my best. Saludos, Martín Sarkis. Yo lo sigo amando, aunque usted no me quiera. I will always do my best to come out and inform individuals. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. And, I need your help. Because even if it comes a point where it's a 6-1, I want to share my point of view to the community, saying, hey, this is the reason why. And you've been on that side, Commissioner.
Yes, I have. Absolutely.
One of the things I did, I'm glad that you're on today. One of the things that I did want to mention, Commissioner, is I ran into Mayor Cowan at at Mitorito. I would have breakfast there, and Erasmo, how's the race going? I said, you know, I think well, despite the fact that he, financially supported my opponent and other individuals on there, that's okay. I said, but this thing that y'all voted on doesn't make sense. You know how they this it was a campaign ordinance or something, or it just,
Campaign finance reform. Yeah.
it doesn't make sense, Commissioner.
No, it
It doesn't
doesn't.
make sense because before, Commissioner, I mean, you remember, we were out there on the sidewalk,
Oh,
left.
you're talking about the electioneering ordinance.
Yeah, that one. We were out there on the sidewalk, and and away from the main doors and stuff and everything. We couldn't come close, which is understandable if we had anything with propaganda. But now you could literally pitch a tent,
Yep.
close to the door. That makes no sense,
Yeah.
especially now that the library, which is the main place to vote now, the library is they had drive through, so you could
Hmm.
opt to stay in your car and drive through and vote. It didn't make sense, Commissioner. It just didn't make sense. And I said, Mayor County, it just doesn't, John, it doesn't make sense. I mean, before we were away, now you've got us close, and it just doesn't make sense. You go, oh well, I need to go look at it. I haven't seen that. Well, bitch, how could you vote for something if you don't know what it's going to look like? You
All
know,
I can say is anytime I'm going to vote in favor of something, it's because I've done my homework on it. I always know what it says
it,
if I'm voting yes.
it makes no sense, Commissioner.
Right.
Absolutely no sense. And I hope there's some tweaking to it, is that because just it doesn't work.
Now, that I definitely expect. I know that that's why there wasn't strict enforcement of it this election cycle. A lot of it was intended for guidance so that candidates would begin to become familiar, and of course, staff, since it was our first time implementing it. And I expect there to be refinements based on feedback we get from everyone.
Yeah, I hope so, because it does need tweaking. It literally didn't make any sense, and it was funny because I went to vote, and one of the things when I first started running for office, Commissioner,
Hmm.
a lot of people want to give you advice. You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this. And they would say, Erasmo, when you go into a restaurant, go to every table and say, hola, my name is Erasmo Castro. I'm running for mayor of the city of Brownsville. I hope that you will consider voting for me. And I said, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I said, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And my reasoning, Commissioner, is I hate when people come up to me when I'm eating.
Hmm.
I mean, so I'm not going to go do. Salud. I'm not going to go. Salud. Wow, everyone's coughing except me. I'm the one who stayed up all night. Anyway, but I'm not going to go out there and do something that I hate done to myself.
Of course. And there's no one winning formula that you have to do this or you're not going to win. There's no such thing. Different strategies work for different individuals. So, yeah, you've got to be you.
And that I hate going to the political events. Those events where everybody's out there. Oh yeah, he's the candidate. And a lot of those events, and like I've told people, a lot of those events are just the same people going from one event to another event just to get free booze and free meals, and just not my thing. I don't like doing the chicken plate thing. I don't do the chicken plate. I don't like being all day out there at the library bothering people. I just
Hmm.
don't like it. I've done it before, but I really never liked it. So this time around, I think I wasn't out there at all. I think I just went to vote, and, and I still got. Well, my assistant was out there. Juan was out there, which is great. I love him. But uh, oh, you remember Juan, right? My assistant.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was amazing. He did a great job. So, Commissioner, for the next race, give him a call.
Absolutely.
He did a great job. Honestly, I mean, literally, he did everything. I did nothing. Well, I paid for the signs. So we're heading off to March. Was it March or April?
May.
May. So we're heading off to May. Give him a call. Because Commissioner de los Santos is running for commissioner at large,
Correct.
leaving the district. You're excited that he's leaving the district?
Well, and the biggest The biggest driver for that was the fact that when I was elected, District 3 was the largest in the city at the time with over 60,000 residents. But after redistricting, because the US Census numbers had been delayed because of the pandemic, so they came in 2021 when I was elected, and that's when we started looking at the redistricting that typically happens after the census. So it was towards the end of 22, November of 22, that we approved the new maps for redistricting, and that made District 3 the smallest district in the city with only 45,000 citizens. So I lost 25% of the people I was elected to represent while I've been in office. And that's the biggest single driving factor of why I wanted to switch races so that I can go back to representing all citizens of Brownsville.
I'm proud. Let me, I'm proud, and it's going to be an interesting race. I say that's going to be an interesting race because you're running against a commissioner that also left his district, District 4, to run at large because of I think he moved out of the district, which it's going to be interesting because I truly believe that each of y'all carry y'all's base, and it's going to be an interesting race.
Absolutely,
it's going to be a fun race to watch, and I'm kind of proud that I'll be on the sidelines.
Yep. And mine will be the biggest race on the ticket because the only other two races are district races, Districts 3 and Districts 4. So the at-large will be the biggest race on the ticket for the city of Brownsville.
It's amazing. And again, of all the races out there that I'm seeing, I mean, the rest, even the individuals that are there in that jumped into District 3 race, and we're like, eh. I mean, I think well, Gus is a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Denise is it Denise?
Denise Chavez, yeah.
Denise is a friend of mine, I think. I say I think because she's very friendly with me every time I see her.
Yeah.
Very cordial and stuff. But again, I'm not sure. But we'll see. But I like her, and yes. I think I like most people that are in that race. So it's going to be an interesting race. But again, Gus has been a friend of mine. I was a friend of his dad, and of course, a friend of his brother, Don De Leon.
Yeah,
amazing guy. I love the guy. So it's going to be It's going to be an interesting race, and it gets to that point because a lot of people say like, Erasmo, you run in every single race. I go like, I won't be able to. but it's good to be on the sidelines of it. Actually, we might even ask to maybe host a forum for that.
I would love that.
I know that you'd be up for it. Again, just questions about the city. Us people need you there. Saludos from the Lozano. Love the Lozanos. Stop being chismoso and actually get to getting things done. I'll do my best, Carlos. You really bring a chance. What again? I was saying that a lot of people are like, ask, well, what are you going to do when you get in there? I said, well, it's very simple because what I mentioned while I was running is exactly what I'm going to do. One of the first things that I asked for was I want an audit. Yep. I want to know where our monies went for these specific topics. I want to know where our Performing Arts Center, because honestly, Commissioner, I think it's embarrassing that the city of Brownsville, with the highest population in the county, and the biggest
in the valley. The city of Brownsville is the highest population in the RGV.
And the biggest district south of San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken, and we don't have a Performing Arts Center, but we got Los Fresnos and we got San Benito, building the Performing Arts Center. So I don't like to be steps behind other communities. And BISD promised our students and staff, they promised our community a Performing Arts Center, and we didn't get one. We earmarked, Commissioner, $53 million. $53 million for a Performing Arts Center. We got crap.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed. So I want to know, where did that money go to? Where did it go? And let's start considering building a Performing Arts Center. One of the things that I guess you and I will probably be speaking about a lot off of live is the zoo thing. I just want a lot of clarification. Also, again, we all want the zoo to succeed. I will dare say that I was one of the first individuals as a board member that approached Ben Neese and that guy, I can't remember his name, from the zoo.
Birchfield?
Yeah, that guy. I was one of the first ones to meet with them and said, like, guys, let's get this done, but let's do it now.
Yeah.
And they held back on it. Even I think Mayor Trey Mendez was on at that time, and he wanted it to happen. I just don't know why it stalled, and it stalled to a point now where it's just going to ultimately be more expensive.
Yeah, it'll be more expensive now for the district to build because the just costs go up. But I don't know that as generous a deal would have been put together. It's possible, but I will say that when we look, and you and I will talk in detail about the overall deal, but when you look at the overall deal and the total value that BISD will receive out of that, that's probably far greater than it would have been if this deal had been done 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Well, again, we need the zoo.
Absolutely.
As a community, we need the zoo. And again, a lot of people were out there saying, like, "Ah, Erasmo, you're anti-zoo." I go, "No, we need the zoo. I don't like to go to zoos personally, and that's just my thing. But does the city of Brownsville as a whole, need Gladys Porter Zoo? 1,000,000%. We need it.
Agreed.
And we have got to find that middle ground to work together with all entities, not only the city of Brownsville and BISD, but also TSC, even the port, everyone, get everyone involved. Let's make sure that we have, if not the best, one of the best zoos in this country. And it's doable,
Yes, it is.
it's doable. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you, Commissioner, that in case anyone on the commission or the mayor had any doubts about myself in regards to the zoo, 100% pro zoo. Wanted to succeed, and we want all entities here in the city of Brownsville to succeed, especially the commission, and we'll work together. We'll work well together.
Absolutely.
But again, again, one of the things that I've made mention, just want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And even as not an elected official, which we are now, even as a non-elected official, just want to know what's going on. And one of the things I think that Judge Judy says, if you always tell the truth, you don't always have to think about your answers.
Exactly.
Just tell us the truth. We may not like it, may not like your response, but it's the truth.
Amen. That's right.
And one of the things I think that a lot of people is take for granted, Commissioner, is that we're human. One of the things that they came after me was because of the DUI. They've come after you because of, I think, similar things or the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human, guys. We're all human. We all make mistakes. You don't have to like our personal life, or you don't have to like who we date. You don't have to like who we hang out. You don't have to like any of that. You just have to make sure that what we put forward in regards to policy, or in regards to a decision that is being made, that's in the best interest of Brownsville, our community as a whole. And that's what ultimately matters.
That's right.
Who cares if it's coming from a good looking board member like Erasmo Castro? Were you surprised that I won?
No.
No, really?
No. I knew that was definitely you were in my top 2 for who was going to take that race.
And that race?
Was not surprised.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised. I was ecstatic, but I wasn't surprised either.
Good.
I mean, it's crazy. Congratulations, my friend. Well deserved. Thank you. Congrats, brother. Thank you, baby. Finally, baby Adolfo. Congrats. I hope you throw Ratas at the bus. Well, yeah. Let's go. I run for the next board position. Amen, brother. Texas is Republicano. Did you see that Cameron County turned red?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Were you?
I was shocked mostly because I know, like, when you've had Roman on, we've looked at the numbers, and overall the early vote was not up over 2020, the last presidential election. And since we didn't see a huge jump in votes, I didn't expect there to be that big of a shift in what results would look like for Cameron County. So yeah, I was very surprised there.
I was not so shocked, And I say that because I mean I was again I my power base is social media, and I sometimes come out here and say I'm the king of all local social media. I
Hmm.
really, I really think I am, and people are like, "Oh, okay, Brownsville online, you get Brownsville today." Like, I know that these people, and I applaud them, and I'm glad that they're doing a lot of stuff that I was doing. I'm glad, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm glad that they're doing it because it really just takes a little burden off myself. But with that
Hmm.
said, I can sense a lot of the different trends and the waves that are going by. And I mean, I saw a lot of Mexicans here, a lot of folks here in this community that were all Trump, 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 Trump. So I
Hmm.
wasn't that surprised that we took Cameron County as the, and it should be very, very telling. But it goes back into the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. Just do the right thing. Does it? That shouldn't
Right.
matter. People, and I'm glad we don't have the palanca stuff anymore. But
Hmm.
more than that, Commissioner, is that I want people to call Commissioner Los Santos and say, "Hey, what's your stance on this?"
Right.
And give me, where you're at on this issue. Why did you vote for this? And I want Commissioner Los Santos to respond. And I want everyone out there to do their research in regards to the different candidates that they're placing themselves on the ballot that you ultimately have to vote for. Don't vote for el compadre. Don't vote for the one that has the best sounding name. Don't
Hmm.
vote for the one that's on the number one spot unless it's Erasmo Castro, which I was. But vote for the candidate based on what he's going to do for you, the community.
Right.
And again, I think a lot of people, Commissioner, and again, have not done that well in these past 4 years, and that hurt Kamala Harris.
Yep, I agree.
A lot of folk have not done well throughout the country, especially down here. I've mentioned this with you, the border
Well,
issue.
and yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go with it. The administration did not take the type of action that should have been taken at the border until this year.
Yeah,
That should have been year one. That should have been one of the first things we addressed. Any concerns we had at the border, fix them then. The fact that we wait till an election year where it looks like you're just trying to appease the base, um, that's not good. A shifting base. Because I think, again, regardless of what party you're with, we recognize that securing the borders and taking care of the country is a top priority.
I'm definitely going to bring strawberry milk back if it's not
Nice.
being served right now. One of my greatest accomplishments as on the board was bringing strawberry milk back to the students. That's one of the things I will better believe I'm going to do. But let me say, Commissioner, one of the things that really bothered me about the border security is how everyone was being kind of quiet on it because it was an issue. It was an issue. It was an issue. And again, an issue that I would see because I work the Matamoros, Brownsville, and I would see thousands of individuals coming across, thousands, and being housed here at the parking garage and being processed. Now, I don't know if it's the city of Brownsville commissioner or if it's that little group, that Angel Hill Brownsville team or something that actually wait for the people over there on the bridge and then like walk them to their little station or something. Do you know about that?
Say that one more time.
I don't know if it's city of Brownsville employees or that
Oh,
Brownsville team because I think it's called Brownsville team. No,
no, no, no. Team Brownsville
that one.
is the group on the corner. They're not in the parking garage. Team Brownsville is a group that gives them like toiletries and food and clothes and things like that once they leave processing.
That those guys now, Commissioner, they directly go to the bridge and walk people over to their facility.
Okay, no, that's not Team Brownsville. Those are folks from the Office of Emergency Management, if I'm not mistaken, or from the federal government. But I'm pretty sure it's Office of Emergency Management.
Oh, so is that federal or is that?
No, Office of Emergency Management is City of Brownsville's Office of Emergency
Oh,
Management.
it's City of Brown, and
Yeah.
I thought it was because I recognize some of the people. I go like, these are City of Brownsville people.
Yeah.
So
Now, the Team Brownsville folks, Team Brownsville falls under the Good Neighbor Settlement House. and it's volunteers that they recruit there. And yeah, they're just giving them things that they'll need as they're moving forward now once they're done with the processing. But they don't have contact with them at the bridge.
Well, again, it's just kind of a bad look. And again, and nothing against the individuals that are walking these individuals, to their facility, because they're just doing their job and they do an amazing job. And I greatly appreciate it. Some of them are friends of mine. They always say hi, and I said, hi, how's it going? Very, very good people, and good people for the city of Brownsville.
Mm-hmm.
But again, my concern is that do we have a hold, or do we have a plan in regards to a lot of these individuals who are not leaving our area, who are actually staying in Brownsville?
Well, and that's why OE, the Office of Emergency Management, is handling things as rigidly as they are, because especially for folks applying for asylum, you've got to be very upfront with, this is where I was going, this is my destination, these are my sponsors. And so the goal of the Office of Emergency Management is to move them through that process and through the city of Brownsville as quickly as possible, because they didn't emigrate to the United States looking to settle in Brownsville, Texas. So it shouldn't be that now that we're here saying, pues aquí me voy a quedar.
Right.
No, it should be that let's keep moving to whatever your final destination was. As long as the federal government says that you're coming into the country, that's fine, but let's get you to your destination. Because, Brownsville was not it. Then we need to make sure you're not just hanging around the city of Brownsville, not being productive members of society. The process should get a work permit, get to your city of destination, and go to work.
Well, let me tell you, and just for the city of Brownsville can prepare itself. Again, I converse with a lot of these folks. A lot of these people are ultimately now deciding not to leave. They're ultimately deciding to stay here. And I say that because a lot of people are like, hey, can you help us do the change of address? I said, yeah, man, I can help you do the change of address. So a lot of these individuals saying like, ¿sabes qué? Mejor nos quedamos aquí. So I think personally that we're going to have a big influx of individuals opting to stay here in the city of Brownsville or in this area, even the Valley, actually.
Well, I'm hopeful that with what we saw with elections last night, that we'll see some significant shifts in how we handle the border. And that's our next best step on how we combat that.
Can I just ask, how does the victory feel this morning? It feels good. Feels good. I'll say this, and again, a lot of people saying like, "Oh, you share too much sometimes." I spent the evening with my friend Eduardo, and I couldn't have picked better company that evening. Had a very exciting, very fun evening in regards to just the whole being excited about winning, and it was just a very, very, very interesting, and had an amazing conversation last night, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
The gays came out and delivered. Let me tell you, anyone out there that thinks that a certain group of individuals here in the city of Brownsville don't matter, that's your personal choice. When it comes to serving the community, you got these individuals that will band together and say, we're going to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, people could discriminate. People could talk back about any group here in the city of Brownsville, as long as that their voice is heard by individuals that are representing the community, or their voice is heard at the ballot box. That's what matters. And I'll say this again. I said it at the start of the show. I'm very grateful for a lot of the individuals that are part of the LGBTQ community, not LGBT community, that sent messages, that came out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of individuals that said, Erasmo, we hated you before, and literally we hated you. We thought you were homophobic. You thought you were homophobic. You hated it. Like I said, I don't know exactly where that came from. I never shared anything of the sort, but we came out and voted for you. I'm going like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Los que atacan a la persona son gritos de perdedor. I'm very excited, Commissioner, and I'm very grateful that you decided to come on this morning. It really says a lot, and I'm very, very excited. Este, what are now? I think November is the month that November
Thanksgiving.
November is the month that I conclude to be the start of the city races.
Technically, that's true. Me personally, I will not be doing anything prior to the new year. I think we've still got some races that are going to head to runoffs that might be out there. But also, I think it's time for the country to think about the transition and look to the transition that's going to be coming. It's time for the district to start with their transition with the new dynamic that BISD will have. And then I want, the citizens to be able to enjoy the holidays. I think we've had a lot of signs up in a lot of places around our city for several months now, if not this entire year, with all the elections and runoffs that have happened. So you should not see any Roy de los Santos signs going up, not any 4x4s or 4x8s going up before January of next year.
Hey, Commissioner, what's your take on Kamala Harris?
As far as?
He's going to the restroom.
Helen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
So do you know where he was going with the Kamala question?
No, he just said talk about Kamala. I said okay.
I mean, I like her. I think she would have made an amazing president.
Yeah.
I think to say she hasn't done anything in her first 4 years is a complete cop-out because everybody knows the vice president is not in charge.
Yeah.
The vice president has almost no power whatsoever. If there's blame for anybody, it's with the president. The buck stops at the top. But that's an effective campaign technique to try and put that on her as vice president. That's one of the best ways to attack her. And I think the Republican Party did a great job of exercising that.
Yeah. They did an amazing job on, saying that she never did anything. They did an amazing job at defaming her. And that was one of the reasons why when I saw all those polls come in, I said, yeah, there's no way she's going to win. Yeah. And another thing that's really unfortunate is because she's a woman. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And that's really devastating, just knowing that, our country has became that women can't do anything. That's really unfortunate. So
yes, it is. But and the other thing that I think the Republican Party did well, I think going back to President Reagan's message of, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Yeah. I think that was such an easy message to sound off on. And I think for the most part, yeah, because it has been, while the economy is strong, there have been several things where it's been a painful process, trying to avoid inflation, the rising interest rates, everything that we've seen. So I think the current administration's done a great job of controlling things as best as they could, bringing inflation back down, stimulating the economy. They've done better than what was expected. But I think a lot of people feel like we could be doing better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what resonated with voters.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he won. I'm surprised Vicente and Myra were like this. I'm surprised. When I saw that he won by a needle, I was like, wow. I cannot believe that's what we are now here.
Yeah, that one was, let's see. That's 27 or 34? 34. Yeah, Vicente was at 51.2. She was 48.7. He had 102,500 votes, almost 102.6 to 97,000. So it was at least 5,000 votes that he won by, but small percentage points.
I was surprised.
You were so good looking a second ago. What happened?
This is like the younger version of Erasmo and the aging version of Erasmo. It's crazy, right? Let me say this. I mean, I knew Trump was going to win. Did you know Trump was going to win, Commissioner?
I did not.
Really?
I did not know he was going to win, and then I didn't vote for him.
You really thought Kamala was going to win?
I was hopeful, yes. Especially with Mexico having elected their first female president, I was looking forward to the U.S. doing the same thing.
And it's funny because last night Eduardo and I were at La Cancilleria, and we had this conversation with a lot of individuals out there. I asked individuals that joined us at the table. I said, "Hey guys, I said how's Claudia doing? Scheinenbaum, how's she doing? I'm very hopeful. I kind of like her, and I'm very hopeful. I didn't like Kamala, Commissioner. Did not like Kamala.
No, I did like her. She would not have been my first choice. If we'd been talking a year ago, who we want the nominee to be, if the plan had been as it should have, that Biden would serve one term and not consider a second, I think it would have been a very different race, and we never know who the front runner might have been that emerged.
I just wish if the Democrat Party would have picked someone electable, they would have done better. I don't think Kamala was electable, Commissioner. I mean,
it's always about who the opponent is.
Well, I think they banked on people hating Trump, because of who Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't bank on that. It's like, call me the Browns with Trump. It's like saying screw Erasmo, we hate him because he's Erasmo, it's not enough. It's got enough. You have to bring something to the table. And my opponents in this race, and I love Tim, I love Augie, I love them both, just didn't bring anything to the table. And let me tell you, if there's one thing that Erasmo Castro will do is bring stuff to the table. And but with Kamala, it's just like, I mean, she didn't even get any votes in regards to when she ran for president with the Democratic Party, the primary. She didn't win anything, out there. So why the Democrat Party thought that she would be a good fit to run against President Trump? And I think one of the things, Commissioner, is that I think we all saw this when they had their debate. I mean, she did amazing.
Yes.
I even told Juan, I said, she knocked it out of the park,
Mm-hmm.
She kicked ass, Trump parecía a deer in headlights, bro. 100% a deer in headlights. What? Un weasel. I didn't call him that, but yeah, maybe. Just felt like a fish out of water, and it's really unfortunate in that respect. But again, she did amazing, and I thought people got their hopes up. They're like, "Oh man, we're seeing a different type of Kamala Harris." And then after that, I mean, she went into hiding. She did the Biden thing about going into the basement, and running the campaign in the basement. It's not going to cut it. People want to be accessible and be out there for the individuals. And I just didn't like Kamala. They should have got Newsom from California to run. That would have been interesting, The governor of California, Gavin Newsom. That, I think, would have been a pretty decent choice, Curbside should be only for elderly and persons with disabilities. Do you agree, Commissioner, or should it be for everyone?
I prefer it be for. I think there needs to be a dedicated lane for elderly and disabled.
Huh?
I think there should be dedicated lane for elderly and disabled patrons.
Well, what about a drive-through for everyone?
As long as it's not everybody has to wait in the same line.
Well, because now
they're elderly or disabled, there should be a dedicated line for you.
Now they were doing drive-through for anyone and everyone that wanted it.
Yeah, and I don't think that was ever the intent.
Yeah, I again, a lot of people thought it convenient. I didn't like it.
And I'm not opposed to setting it up for convenience because it shouldn't be a difficult process to cast your vote. You shouldn't have to wait in a line for an hour and a half. No. Everything should flow very efficiently.
You got a better sounding alarm than I do.
That's Dana Mitty.
Oh, she still owes me fucking.
She did say to congratulate you. I talked to her last night and she asked how you did, and I told her you won. So she
hasn't. I'm still waiting for our damn lunch. What's up with that? You tell you, right?
She's ready.
Yeah?
I'm sure she's ready.
Well, tomorrow. Trust me, I have like 12 lunches today.
I'm sure.
You know how that goes, right?
Yes, absolutely. Just make sure I get lunch with you in the next couple of days.
No, Papa, of course. Hey, you're on my speed dial, bro.
I know it.
Aunque ni me pelas, pero no hay pedo.
Cuando? Go to our history. There's never been a time where I blow you off.
Let me think. No, again, I just wish that the Democrat Party would have done something differently, and maybe the outcome would have been a little bit on the different side. But again, congratulations to President Trump, and let's pray for President Trump. And let's hope that he does a great job. It doesn't matter if he's a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
And again, all these individuals that I'm leaving the country and I'm leaving forever, like, shut up, stay in and make this country better.
Yes.
And pray for Trump. Pray that he does a good job for everyone, Democrats and Republicans alike. And let's see what happens. Let's move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, congratulations. Hi, Juan. Skyla, they say hi. I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, my friend.
Okay. Congratulations. The people of Brownsville have spoken. It's time to clean BSD. It's going to be interesting. Again, the promise, and again, I got a message just right now. The promises that I made when I was running for this campaign, I will keep. I want an audit. I want to find out where the monies went for those specific earmarked items that we were supposed to get, and the things that were promised to the community. I want to know where that money went, and I want it back. And again, the other thing is that again, open door policy. Again, maintenance people have called me, transportation people. Oh, we want to meet with you. I said, like, not going to be any different. Open door policy. But with that said, I don't like crowded events. I don't like political events, stuff like that. It's just not my thing.
Right.
When I come to the office, if we want to go out for coffee, want to go out for a drink, as long as you're paying, I'm okay. Te toca a ti, Commissioner. No, you paid last time, right?
What's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he?
So I want to say the last time we went out twice that day. We went out in the afternoon, then you had to go somewhere to do something, and then we came back later that night.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So I think we might have each paid that day.
Did we? I don't even remember, but it doesn't matter. Juan Martinez, OFC, and I voted as well. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate it. And we're going to need you to vote again in May. Don't forget. And one of the things that I hope my base understands, I am grateful and thankful that you came out to vote for Erasmo Castro and a lot of it for Trump. I want you to come out at every election. I don't want it to be, bueno, Erasmo, yo fui a votar por ti. No.
No, we know that's not going to happen.
We need this community to vote every single election. We got to get out of the 8-9% of registered voters that come out to vote and get closer to 90-100% of individuals to come out and vote. So I want everyone that came out to vote for Erasmo Castro to come out and vote in May, and be ready to come out and vote in May. And you've got 7 months to vet these candidates and vet Commissioner Los Santos, ask him questions, ask Pedro Cárdenas and Denise and Gus de Leon, who's running, all of them, and and expect to get a response. Because I'll tell you right now, if they don't respond to you, if they don't answer your questions when they're running for a position, what makes you think that they're going to answer any questions after they get the seat?
Right.
100%. So we want them to come out and definitely supporting Mr. Roy.
Thank you.
Oh, and he lives in District 3 too. I know because he's my neighbor.
Nice.
Unlike Commissioner Santos that lives somewhere else.
I live in District 3.
That's not what I heard.
Since day one.
I've yet to run into Commissioner Santos, and he's my neighbor.
No. Remember something. Now I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Camino Verde.
Yeah.
But Levy is also in District 3.
Is it really?
Absolutely.
The back part of Levy? I thought Levy was on District 4.
There's several blocks on Levy that are District 3, West Side. Trust me. I would never, ever live outside my district as a district commissioner.
Will you hold people accountable when you find the corruption?
Of course.
Yes, 100%. I think both of us are on the same page. Where's the money check on school members? What's in their pockets? That's what we're checking. Just saying. Oh, nice haircut. We need to promote all local Brownsville businesses, BSD, and cities should try to do only buy from locals.
That's completely unreasonable. If you just look at local businesses, there's several things that they can't deliver on, especially with huge multi-million-dollar projects. You cannot do it only with locals. Hey, where'd our host go? So welcome to the Roy de los Santos show. Let's see, Manuel, there you are.
Whoa. Once I heard that you were trying to take over the show, I said, wait, let me come back.
Well, see, I'm like, hey, me abandonaste aquí?
Well, it's crazy, but we're experiencing a lot of AT&T went down this morning. I don't know. No,
the service?
Yes.
The fiber internet or the cell service?
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything went down.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went down for a while and I was going like, what the hell? Do I have what's that? Cricket phone? No, but it was AT&T. They went down.
No, but I will say also on Manuel's point, I know we always do try to look for local vendors. If it's something that local vendors can provide, there should be preference for local vendors. And I know we always look at the city when it comes to the procurement process, we try and build in points for that you own property locally, that your employee base is local. So those wages are going into the local economy. That has to be a factor.
100%. And I understand. But one of the things I think that a lot of people have seen in a lot of the contracts and a lot of the consultant work, it somehow mostly seems to be individuals from outside our community. Again, I don't know what some firm in Edinburgh or McAllen has over a firm here in Brownsville, Texas. And I don't know if there's any way, like I know that there's a metrics in regards to individuals. I don't know if there's a little bit extra metrics or something that can be added on to say, hey, let's look for local first. And if local doesn't cut it, and again, and I agree with Commissioner Santos, if our local doesn't cut it, then you have to go, with whoever's out there.
No, and I will say also, and a lot of people don't realize this, when you look at the bids, and I know for the city of Brownsville, in the packet for the city commission meetings, it'll give you the rundown of how many people submitted their bids and who the bidders were. And then it gives you who the recommended awardee is. But there are so many times where I look at that and there wasn't a single local bidder. Everybody who bid was from outside of Brownsville.
Well, again, it's the first Brownsville, and then, you got to base it on whatever bids came in.
Absolutely.
And you're going to take the better bid because that's just being fiscally responsible,
Amen.
Fiscally responsible.
Yes.
And again, if individuals here in the city of Brownsville, I guess, again, want an upset. One of the things that I encounter a lot, I've encountered when I was a BSD, people were like, yo voté por ti y pues tienes que ayudar a mi empresa. Or something like, that's not how it works, baby. You know, that is not how it works.
Exactly.
We are out there for the community as a whole, and what's going to help and benefit the community as a whole, not what's going to benefit el compadre or the company or the individual that supported us. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I want everyone to support us. Now the closet Republicans here can come out. Yes, I think so. I think a lot of individuals, again, I was seeing it on social media, Helen. I love Helen. I love Jack. I love y'all to death. You know that. One of the things I think that, again, as I mentioned earlier, I was seeing is that Trump, Brownsville, Trump, Cameron County, and it came out in the numbers. I mean, I was not completely surprised, but like, wow, we turned red for a while. I don't think that's ever happened as a commissioner or with Bush.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think I have never seen this, and I'm very proud.
I think because even Roman said it, that there were two, was it George W. and I think there's one other that he mentioned that Cameron County went red for.
What can and can't you talk about on the show? I can talk about basically anything, unless it's spoken in executive session. But again, there's a lot of things I think that are spoken in executive session. It should not be in executive session. Do you agree, Commissioner?
Yes, and I think the way people like you and I navigate that is that it doesn't limit you. Like if you learn something exclusively in executive session, then there's not much you can say about it until the city releases the information and makes it public, or the same thing with the district. But if it's something that's discussed in executive session, but also has a component outside of executive, then that gives you the opportunity to have any questions answered and have any discussions you need to that need to be confidential, but then still go out in public. And don't just go out and take the vote, but go out there and talk about why you're voting the way you are. That way the people are included in the process.
100%. And again, that's what being transparent is all about. Like this is my reasoning. This is my thought. It's not because I'm being forced to vote or to side this way. It's because it's what's in the district community. Curious, AOB folk underestimated you? I got a call from AOBE. I got a call from Best, actually. And I appreciate both. And I will share with you all what I told them in our private conversation. Guys, I don't care who you supported. I don't care who you supported. I will work for you all as strongly as I will work for those individuals that voted for me and supported me. And AOBE did not. And Best did not. But I'm going to work for them with every ounce of strength that I have. I will be out there for y'all, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Dos Santos, are you going to run for mayor?
If the time and circumstances are ever right, that's a possibility. I would say I prefer to be a commissioner and never run for mayor. But now with term limits, that's something I would have to think about.
Have we gotten any updates on Kimberly Avila?
Nothing new. At least once a year, if not more frequently, we do have a sit down with Brownsville PD and the family. And that's behind closed doors. And PD knows from both myself and Commissioner Martinez, whenever, if ever, there's anything breaking, we want the family to know it before us so that they can release that information as soon as they're able to. But the family should be the first to know whenever there's anything that comes to light. But no, not a lot of new leads, not a lot of new tips. But we're hopeful.
Yeah, we're hopeful. I'm hopeful too. I sort of heard, again, you don't have to confirm or deny, that there might be a little bit more information out there that has been brought forward. And I'm hoping that's actually true. I think the family needs closure. I think our Brownsville community needs closure in regards to. Let me ask you, Commissioner, has anyone out there addressed the safety of individuals while in downtown Brownsville? Because one of the things that I've seen, because I've been to Chilimoli, I went to Monarca, and I like these little nice, little swanky little restaurants that are popping up.
Yes.
Every single time I go, I'm encountered with individuals that are asking for money, individuals that are prostituting themselves, or individuals that are out there, that are druggies. I mean, has there been any talk about more security for downtown?
No, there's extensive talk about it, and we are seeing increased patrols on busier nights when there's functions downtown. But that's what the additional revenue from the increased parking fees, that's part of what it's supposed to help fund, is increased police patrols for the downtown area. We also know that as new business continues to move into the area, little by little, it's pushing out those bad elements. So we know one of the areas, like what you're talking about with people soliciting, one of the areas where that's very heavy is right at 9th and Washington. And we know that property has been purchased by a reputable local family, and they're planning to completely remodel it and turn it into luxury apartments. It'll no longer be a motel where you can rent by the hour.
Oh, yeah. We had a lot of those. She's too radical in her views. I think personally she shouldn't vote for someone just because of their sex, 100%. Gender or color, 100%. Congratulations. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. Hi, Juan. Oh, Andrea says hi. Oh, she's not here. Juan's not here.
What?
Andrea?
Who's that?
I don't know. Andrea Ortiz?
Oh, Hi, Andrea.
Speaking of women's rights, and Cheney displays some demonic filth about her. Guys, I'm not gonna get to all the comments. Commissioner, thanks for coming on.
Always, you know that.
I appreciate you, and let's get together soon.
Amen. We'll do that.
Guys, I again thank you all so much, and again, guys, the fight's not over. You know, we got other elections ahead of us, and let's continue to unite. Let's continue to bring positive change to this damn community. We deserve it. You deserve it.
Amen.
Guys, be good to each other, and thank you for continuing to be good to me. God bless.